Hello, everybody. Welcome to Graded Point 5. The chat's showing up. I did all this work to make sure. I said, okay, no matter what, I'll have a chat up, and it showed up in the program like it's supposed to tonight.
Yay!
That's good. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. You already got a message before you even started.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, pipe.
There we go. Yep. There we go. Chat's working.
Hey, Daniel. It's good to see you. Good to see you tonight. Yeah. So, hey, everybody. You got Xavier over there playing his keyboard.
I'm still learning. Soon I'll be able to play chopsticks.
You're supposed to use a piano keyboard, not your your QWERTY keyboard. Just
That would explain why my instructor was so mad at me.
Yeah. I brought a keyboard. What are you mad about? God.
The sign said donuts here. I was just following instructions.
Mm-hmm. I just realized I got the image up that says approved by the Comic Code Authority, so that means we can no longer curse or any innuendo. We've screwed ourselves up, lads. We're done.
Shut this down. Shut these all
advertising.
down.
Yeah, we're done. What have you done?
Walter Peck come in here and shut us down.
Mm-hmm. So, the reason why I decided we're going to talk about the Comic Code Authority tonight is because Donald Dudley did a 2-minute video on his channel last night. I will put that in the description later. But I thought it was very interesting because he pointed out some very important rules that were in effect in 1954 that still seems to be applied today, but basically from the opposite direction. And we were told, like, Xavier and I were kind of perusing the list, and we had to stop because, like he said, we would use up all our A materials, and Piper hasn't seen it yet, so she's going to be live seeing it.
Yeah.
Reacts.
It's been a long time since I've read the comics code, and I don't know if I ever read the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never read the whole code. I've only seen like 1 or 2 things, plus the video today.
First the Diamond Mafia and now the CCA. Are you guys trying to burn your own channel? I mean, you got to go hard, man. You got to go hard. If you're not going to go hard, then don't go at all. That's the way I look at it.
Quiet or you'll get all whacked.
You got the you got the mafia on one side and the government on the other.
Now that's a rock in a hard place.
Mm-hmm. I'll fight Batman all day long, but the IRS.
No.
A little sippy. I was thirsty. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Not drink? So let's get into this. Here it is, the Comic Code of 1954. Code of the Comic Magazine Association of America, Incorporated. Now, in practice, this isn't in effect anymore. In theory, let's just get into this, okay? Let's start with the preamble. This was adopted on October 26, 1954. So we're looking 50, 64, 74, 84, 94, 2004, 2014. So you're looking at 55 years, roughly.
Just looking at the first line of the preamble, you can tell this was written in 1950 something.
Yeah.
Now this was pretty much dropped.
It was starting to be dropped even in the 70s. The 80s,
yeah,
it was barely
for the most
used.
part in the 70s. Yeah.
The 90s was really, they were starting to, and by 2000 they were just done with it.
It was
It
way
was
done.
never legally binding. It was kind of like the ESRB. It's just something you do to keep the government off your back.
Yeah, basically it's like, we will police ourselves so you don't have to do it for us. And what it was, I think it was back in the days, like the 40s and 50s, they had a lot of the pulp comics. And those were very adult and graphic. And, of course, anything that's like made, that's drawn obviously has to be for children, not for adults, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at here. So here we go. Preamble. The comic book medium, having come of age on the American cultural scene, must measure up to its responsibilities. I mean, this is literally, this is literally rah rah USA. This is
to grow up.
This is pre-McCarthyism, but you could see where this was going. You know, got to get rid of those Reds. Constantly improving techniques and higher standards go hand in hand with these responsibilities. To make a positive contribution to contemporary life, the industry must seek new areas for developing sound, wholesome entertainment. The people responsible for writing, drawing, printing, publishing, and selling comic books have done a commendable job in the past and have been striving towards this goal. Their record of progress and continuing improvement compares favorably to other medias in the communications industry. An outstanding example of this development of comic books as unique, effective tool for instruction and education. Comic books have also made their contribution in the field of letters and criticism of contemporary life. In keeping with American tradition, the members of this industry will try and must continue to work together in the future. In the same tradition, members of the industry must see to it that the gains it made in this medium are not lost, and that violations of standards of good taste, which tend towards corruption of the comic book as an instructive and wholesome form of entertainment, will be eliminated. Therefore, the Comics Magazine Association of America has adopted this code and placed strong powers of enforcement in the hands of the Independent Comic Code Authority.
We are the law. Law.
The irony of that is Judge Dredd would never fall under the Comic Code Authority. Further, members of the association shall have endorsed and proposed and spirit of this code as a vital instrument to the growth of the industry. To this end, they have pledged themselves to conscientiously adhere to the principles and to abide by all decisions based on the code made by the administrator. They are confident that this positive and forthright statement will provide an effective bulwark for the protection and enhancement of the American reading public.
Who is the administrator?
I don't know, and I don't care, but damn it, we're going to follow him.
I am administrator. You will bow before me.
And that it will become a landmark in the history of self-regulation for the entire communications industry.
I am so proud of this community.
You know what's funny is it did, but not for the reasons they wanted it to.
Oh, yeah, it brought them together for all the wrong reasons.
No, it became a landmark in history of self-regulation for sure. To laugh at, like.
What bothers me is that if you take one or two paragraphs out and change a couple of the words, this could easily be an article on any website today.
I know. You just got to make the language more millennially.
Yeah. The comic book media needs to grow up and come of age, and it has
I was gonna say more millennially, so more immature shit. Like,
yeah. Like Muir says, cartoons are for children, and it's not like Tijuana Bibles never existed. I mean, those were huge back in the day too. You know what Tijuana Bibles are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Making sure. I didn't know olive oil from Popeye could bend that way.
Now remember, Because cartoons are considered for children, and nobody can, thought otherwise. That's how you have, La Blue Girl and other hentai anime in the cartoon section at Blockbuster.
That did happen a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
I remember that. So, hey, what's this? Bible Black?
La Blue Girl.
Ooh, that happened to me when I was a kid.
What, La Blue Girl?
Both.
Oh, wow. Bible Black, really?
Yeah.
Which volume of Bible Black?
I can't even remember anymore. I just remember that name is burned into my brain.
I can imagine a young Piper watching this video. He's like,
I'm watching anime.
Watching anime. And it all of a sudden, yeah, Bible Black sounds religious, right?
Why does this chick have a dick growing out of her snatch? Something's wrong here.
And it was either that one or the Blue Girl. I can't remember. There was like a group of friends. We were all like,
was it like was it eyes wide open when that happened too? It was like,
Woo!
wow. Oh.
It was funny because it would still be playing, and we're all basically just sitting there debating on whether or not we're gonna keep going.
So
where this goes.
Eventually, the whole thing played through while you were still thinking, should we keep watching it? Kind of.
Yeah, like, well, this is not what I expected.
Play it again.
Who wants to keep watching it
Play
anyway?
it again. I'm not sure if this is. We should watch this. Let's rewind it and make sure.
Right?
So basically, you were doing what guys would do.
Yeah.
Where a bunch of guys were hanging out and just like, man, I don't know about this. Let's watch it again to make sure.
Yeah.
Because the Blue Girl, wasn't that the one where she's a sex ninja or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And demons.
Yeah, and basically how she wins is like she has to make them come before she comes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is La Blue Girl is a fucking softcore hentai.
Right? All I remember seeing a preview. I never saw like a whole video of it, but I remember seeing a preview where basically it started off, everybody was clothed, and then she did an Azuna drop, and as she was doing the Azuna drop, both their clothes came off, and they were fucking. It's like, that's the most, I've never seen an Azuna drop like that, Chief.
This is the best stream derail ever so far.
Well,
so far in the history of Graded .5.
Well, see, I'm really sad that Jordan. I'm really sad Jordan's not here because he doesn't believe that I've actually know anything about anime or anything like that. So for some reason he thinks I hate anime.
Well, you can love hentai and still not like anime.
Well, it's like, I don't even love hentai. It's just like I do like anime. I'm
just a connoisseur of the finer things in animation.
Yeah,
it's art.
I'm not like Miyazaki. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. So back to the code. We should call it that now, shouldn't we? The code.
The code, yeah.
Yeah.
About to become some paladins up in here.
By the lights. All right, let's see. Code for editorial matter. General standards, part A. I like to hear different parts of just the general standards. Crimes shall never be presented in such a way as to create sympathy for the criminal, to promote distrust of the forces of law and justice, or to inspire others with a desire to imitate crime. That one you could take and flip it, and that's what it is today.
Yeah.
Show sympathy for the criminal. Don't trust law enforcement.
Criminals don't.
Actually, no. There's no sympathy for the criminal anymore because all the criminals are the patriarchy now. So, but the distrust, yeah, that's still.
Yeah. The way
that's
this is written,
the rules now.
The way this is written is like the crimes just fall out of the air. There's no build up. There's no. This guy's got to feed his family, and he's to the point where he has no choice. He's got to take a chance and rob this bank. Mm-hmm. No, I just decided one day, you know what? I should rob a bank.
Yep.
Or they're just doing it because toxic masculinity and shit.
Yeah.
My name is Muggsy. What else am I gonna do for a career?
Right?
My mother decided my career before I was born. I couldn't say. I don't know. No comic shall explicitly present the unique details and methods of a crime. Don't show them breaking into the safe. Just show them as they already broken into the safe.
On their way out with bags with dollar signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that they stole money.
Policemen, judges, government officials, and respected institutions shall never be presented in such a way as to create disrespect for established authority. Now,
Okay, that one, it's the opposite. It's true now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, unless they agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, unless the judge says, "Oh yeah, by the way, this isn't really law, but I'm going to rule against it anyway."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old code suggests there's no such thing as a dirty cop or a dirty politician. The new code, they're all dirty.
Yeah.
You're just trying to
You're not allowed to suggest that there's any clean one.
Finding a unicorn.
Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah. If crime is depicted, it shall be as a sordid and unpleasant activity.
To who?
That's a good point.
I sure hated robbing that bank we just robbed.
Right? Man, I hate getting away with all this money. This sucks.
Jimmy, what are we doing with our lives?
Why did we do what we just did? We should go turn ourselves in.
Yeah, who needs a superhero to beat up these guys? They'll beat themselves up eventually and turn themselves in.
Right?
This is starting to become an episode of the Boondocks.
Yeah.
Woo.
You know where was it? Jen Rummy and Ed would rob banks, but it was like his dad's bank, so it was nothing ever really happened to them.
Yeah.
And they were like, "All right,
Give the money back."
All right, Mr. Onceler, see you next week." Okay. Oh yeah. Criminals shall not be presented so as to be rendered glamorous or to occupy a position which creates a desire for emulation.
That's why they always had the rundown hideout.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like no matter how much money they stole, they were still, in squalor.
Yeah.
They couldn't be well off criminals. They had to be. Considering this, they're Batman villains should have never been a thing.
Kingpin should have never been a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you think about it, most of your Batman, like even Catwoman, right? She would steal from the rich, and she would live like she was rich. I was like, I don't know. I would like being rich. I don't know. Maybe the criminal has a point. I don't know.
I just like that when this came out, Batman had to stop accidentally on purpose killing all of his criminals.
Oh yeah, because he had that. Yeah. He was like he actually shot people, didn't he? He had a gun.
Yeah. Well, at first it was he would straight up kill them, and then to try and bypass that, it was like they would accidentally die in various ways. Like he would accidentally drop them, or something would accidentally fall on them.
Yeah.
I caught them by their.
Still die at the end.
He was falling off this bridge, and I caught him by his feet. Unfortunately, he was dangling in the water for 5 minutes, and he died.
Did you know humans need air to live? I did not know that.
Lungs are vital to Haman users.
That was incoherent. Let me try that. Let's see what's going on.
Sorry.
Try that again.
It made me think of lungs are vital to Haman users.
I kept asking if he was okay, and he kept going. I asked him what he meant, and he just said, "Am I a mind reader?"
Who knew I needed lungs to breathe?
But that's like when he finally stopped accidentally on purpose killing them all, is when he actually started building a rogues gallery of convincing bad guy. So
Yeah, where instead of just like burglar of the week or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Random dude in weird outfit has really stupid idea, accidentally kills himself. Like,
is this when we started getting the after the Code? I wonder if after Code is when we started getting those Batman and Superman stories where things were just weird.
I think
Silver Age?
probably.
Yeah, like during the Silver Age. Yeah, it's like, hey Batman, I know that I know that we found out that Robin is actually my son for some reason, but but I'd rather for you to raise him because he has no powers. Okay, Superman. And then Superman, of course, being a dick. By the way, we're going to do an episode one day about super dickery. Just how.
Oh man. Like the time that he adopted Jimmy and was like the abusive as shit.
Or about the time that he like married Jimmy to a gorilla. Literally the funniest, like that's the funniest exchange I've ever seen on a cover of any comic ever. It's just Jimmy, putting a ring on a gorilla's finger, and it says, "Come on, Superman, I don't want to marry a female King Kong." And Superman goes, "Sorry, Jimmy, but as the local witch doctor, I now pronounce you man and wife."
Well, it's hard to come up with ideas under this freaking code.
You might be right that this might have started the Silver Age. I just looked up when the Silver Age started.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This was adopted the end of 1954.
Mm-hmm.
Means it would have really officially gone into full effect in 55.
Mm-hmm.
The Silver Age is officially believed to have considered to have started in 56.
Ah.
Yeah. Then that would be it's this comics code that caused the Silver Age.
Took him a year to figure out how to get by.
Yeah. So pretty much it was we found the answer. We found out why there was a Silver Age.
Why the Silver Age was weird as shit.
This is why Lex Luthor stole all those cakes.
Those delicious Hostess cream pies. So where was I? I said okay, criminals. Okay, assorted and pleasant.
You're on
rendered
6.
Has to be rendered glamorous or okay. Number 6. In every instance, good shall triumph over evil, and the criminal punished for his misdeeds. That's why I said I found it ironic. Lex Luthor was supposed to be like the smartest man on earth. Every time would get arrested.
Yeah.
But by the next issue, he's escaped from prison.
Yeah, and I think this is still this still caused the for a while a lot of the bad guys to just accidentally off themselves.
Like they would jump off a building. Like, you'll never get me alive, Batman.
Yeah, it's because I was always off screen, and it would be like Batman looking down, like, oh crap, he's dead, you guys.
Yeah. He could be dead.
I think it was started from this because there wasn't much else they could do.
And then when he come back like 3 issues later, but you never saw a body, did you, Batman? Everything. See, that's why I imagine. That's why people give jokes about the Batman series from the '60s. There was a reason why it was portrayed like that. Look what the comics were at the time.
Yeah. Well, they weren't allowed to. I mean, even in the comics, that's what they did was huge sound effects to cover up any actual. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just followed them onto the TV.
And like I said, that followed for a long time because I have a panel. Yeah. One of my favorite Captain America panels is Captain America breaks into a place and the guy goes, "Captain America, quick! I command you to." And then it's like Captain America hits the guy that's coming after him, and it goes wank.
Wank.
Yeah. So it looks like he's saying, "Captain America, quick! I command you to wank."
Comics Code created some of the most unintentionally hilarious or unintentionally dirty comics.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, and I think that's a lot of too. There was they basically hid innuendo to see what they could get away with.
Yeah.
Joker pulled a boner.
God, that was a whole issue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just talking about how big his boner was going to be. I'll show Batman. I'll give him the biggest boner he's ever seen. We have fun on this show. Okay. Let's see. Good travel review. Okay. Scenes of excessive violence shall be prohibited. Scenes of brutal torture, excessive and unnecessary knife and gunplay, physical agony, gore, and gruesome crime shall be eliminated. So basically,
not allowed.
Yeah. So basically,
eliminated.
basically, somebody gets hurt, but not hurt enough. Like nobody actually got shot or anything. You're just like, oh no, the police commissioner has been knocked over. I'm okay, but get the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, that's still where the big sound effects came in for most of that, too.
Yeah, like, Capeo. Oh, no, the police commissioner. You would never see them actually get punched. You just see the punch coming towards them. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or you see the arm swing and you see the arc of motion.
Yeah. And you
and
see
they fly back.
And the guy's flying across the... Yeah. What else we got? Okay. No unique or unusual methods of concealing weapons shall be shown.
Joker broke that rule all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Right?
I
swear to God, he just...
Where'd you get that gun from? I pulled it right out of my ass, Chief. Oh, God. Let's see. Instances
I swear there's a panel somewhere of Joker. He just holds his hand out and like a boxing glove holding a gun popped out.
I believe so. I believe I've seen that. Instances of law enforcement officers dying as a result of criminal activity should be discouraged. See? That's what I'm talking about. We can't have the coppers dying. Come on. There shouldn't be no consequences.
Are you boys all right?
Don't want their job to look dangerous or anything.
Yeah,
Joker
exactly.
gave me a wedgie. Tom got hit in the face with a pie. Damn Joker.
Yeah. I bet back in... Well, did they really do Joker gas back in the day? I bet nobody ever died of Joker gas back in the day. They're just like, oh no, they got Joker gas. Now they have this stupid smile on their face. Good thing I got this this antidote right here on my utility belt.
Yeah.
They might have just called it Joker gas. I think now it's just officially called Joker toxin.
Yeah. Well, that's how you got the silly shit like the whole building burned down, but thankfully all 300 people miraculously survived. That's a good point. Okay. We're already not even at part B yet. We're still in part A. Let's see. Have you discouraged? The crime of kidnapping shall never be betrayed in any detail, nor shall any profit accrue to the abductor or kidnapper. The criminal or kidnapper must be punished in every case.
I was gonna say, back in the day, he used regular laughing gas, and it didn't kill anybody. It just
gave him the stupid.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently now you can't. In this situation, you can't kidnap anybody. And if
Which
you
is
do,
weird because it still says the kidnapper must be punished. So it's like,
wait, can I do it or can I? What's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused here.
This might
not be betrayed in any detail. So I guess all that can happen is they can just say, somebody's been kidnapped.
The reason for this might be because of what the hell was the Lindbergh baby?
Mm-hmm.
Where the baby was kidnapped, they paid the ransom, and they still killed the kid anyway.
Yeah.
Or the kid was already dead for some reason, and they didn't say anything. They got the ransom and got away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. The thing is, like, I understand, like, in any, like, hero story, the hero has to prevail and the villain has to be, punished, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, number 11 is fucking ridiculous. Holy shit.
Oh, I'm about to reread that one. But, like I said, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, how do you portray somebody as a bad guy if they don't do bad guy things?
Yeah.
Now, my question is, would this extend to like holding a building hostage? If I don't get the ransom in 10 hours, then I will blow up the building. Yeah. Kind of thing. Because that's just a building, right? It gives
Well, this
people
is why, I mean, even the bad guys were way goofy. I mean,
yeah.
Silver Age, the bad guys were really stupid and really goofy.
They
just did goofy ass shit.
They're just swinging their boners around and.
Yeah.
You could make the argument that that's not technically kidnapping because the hostages aren't being taken somewhere.
Yeah, to qualify as kidnapping, you actually have to take a person to somewhere else against their will.
Oh, okay.
If you tie them up, though, that's unlawful restraint. If you
True.
tie them up and don't move them anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
The only other way they got around that is what they were going to do was like super ridiculous. It couldn't be emulated.
Mm-hmm.
Follow my demands, or I'll use my death ray to destroy this building full of people.
How long do we have? You have 2 hours to get the people out.
The doors are not unlocked or guarded.
Yeah, there's a funny story, Daniel, as to why I know stuff about kidnapping laws
Have you been?
and unlawful restraint.
I'm guessing you've experienced some situations.
I was oh no wonder the messages weren't getting to you. God damn it. Okay, sorry. I was mistaken for a high school kid while I was in college.
Oh no.
So that was like a couple of years ago. And the person I was dating and I were in a fight, and I hopped out of the truck and decided, fuck you, I'm walking.
Right.
And I had a little I had a little anime backpack on.
Oh no.
And this was like a busy street, nothing but commercial buildings and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to walk off, and he stops the truck and runs off and grabs me and is trying to get me to go back in the truck. And then, like, boom, there's like freaking cops. And
they thought that
and everything turns messy at that point. So I was like, what the fuck? Why is there cops? They had like tasers out and everything. Like, they thought some shit was going down. Turns out that they had gotten multiple calls of an attempted kidnapping of a little girl.
He's trying to kidnap this little girl and put her in his truck.
Yeah.
She tried to jump out and run away, but he kept coming.
It was a big mess. But yeah, like, I couldn't even, like, legal wise, I wasn't even allowed to say anything because it was like, they were like, no, since we had tons of calls from other people, you don't even get to choose to do or do not press charges and stuff. The city's going to. But yeah, they all said when they acted like ridiculous when they realized how old I was and what the situation actually was.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Oh,
no,
well, that's still illegal, so we're still gonna do shit." But
we were having a fight. We were.
they were saying though. They were saying, well, it's not as illegal as we thought it was.
We've spent too much money and wasted too many resources to not get a conviction here.
Yeah. It was a big old mess, but yeah, that's why I'm very familiar with the kidnapping laws and what constitutes kidnapping and what doesn't.
Oh, jeez. You know, a Tuesday.
For me, yeah. And it was considered unlawful restraint because I was being put into I was being held against my will or whatever and put into the truck. And they said if he had managed to close the door,
mm-hmm.
it would have automatically been considered kidnapping at that point. It would have upgraded from unlawful restraint to kidnapping because he would have successfully put me somewhere, I guess.
Uh-huh. Stuffed you into a... Okay. Well.
Actually, yeah, he's been a little salty about it ever since. It's like funny to tell the story now. It wasn't funny then,
mm-hmm.
except for the being mistaken for they said middle school to high school. That's when I kind of got a little pissed. I was like, all right, high school, that's kind of flattering. Middle school, come on.
Now, wait a damn minute here. Okay, let's get down this list here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. The letters of the word crime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is why I'm like, it's getting funnier.
On a comics magazine cover shall never be appreciably greater in dimension than the other words contained in the title. The word crime shall never appear alone on a cover. Crime.
I'm imagining like world's greatest crime fighter, but crime is tiny.
World's greatest crime fighter. And this goes into 12. Restraint in the use of the word crime in titles or subtitles shall be exercised or excised. No, exercised. Yeah. Oh, geez. You know what this reminds me of? You remember, did y'all ever watch Harvey Birdman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where Phil Consebin, he went into his office and he thought something was missing, and he goes, and remember, he didn't say crime. He goes, my office has been burgled, plundered, purloined. Ha ha ha, loin.
I missed that show.
Yeah. I watched I need to watch the Attorney General one sometime. It was a one
Some
shot.
dastardly fiend has absconded with something, and I'm going to find out who it was.
They stole what did he steal? The baby grand piano and the ottoman?
All things that were never there.
Birdman's thinking, there was no baby grand piano or ottoman. Birdman, keep your thoughts to yourself. Birdman, get in here. Yeah, that was they were specifically written to target the crime stories of the day.
I think we're starting to get into where the code gets like super petty, where it's like there are specific magazines that need to not be magazines anymore.
Yeah, right.
Like true crime stories.
We're getting closer and closer to at the SJW territory.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's like the further we go down, the worse it's going to get. Essentially,
the more
outrageous.
We're going to see it's being. It's good, and that's the more we'll see it's being enforced today.
Yes, Part B especially. Just looking at it now, there are specific magazines that are being targeted by this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's look. Gold standards. Part B. Number 1. No comic magazine shall use the word horror or terror in its title.
That gets rid of all the.
That get rid of pretty much every pulp story.
Tales of terror, tales of horror.
Yeah. All scenes of horror, excessive bloodshed, gory or gruesome crimes, depravity, lust, sadism, masochism shall not be permitted. This is like basically, hey, you know everything to tell you not to do in the Bible, you can't do it in a comic book.
Yep. And this one is one that we're
and then we can say, you mean Bible Black? No, not Bible Black. What's wrong with you?
They did all those things in Bible Black.
A woman cannot have a penis. What's wrong with you, man?
It was a nice channel we had for a while.
Well, you know. Hey, oh, come on. If Jordan can say the N-word and Cab says the F-word the other night, I think we're going to be okay. At least until it's reported.
Exactly. So you can keep reminding them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All lurid, unsavory, gruesome illustrations shall be eliminated. So don't draw.
Yeah.
Inclusion of stories detailing with evil shall be used or shall be published.
Dealing with evil.
It say dealing? Okay.
Yes.
Stories
dealing
with evil shall be used or shall be published only where the intent is to illustrate a moral issue, and in no case shall evil be presented alluringly, nor so as to injure the sensibilities of the reader.
Join the dark side. What's your offer? We won't kill you.
Not very alluring. I don't think I'll do that.
If you had cookies, then maybe I'd be in.
Yeah. But just, we don't kill you? Not buying it there, Chief. Okay, there you go. Scenes dealing with or instruments associated with Walking Dead. So there was one comic that wouldn't exist at all. torture, vampires and vampirism, ghouls, cannibalism, and werewolfism are prohibited. Well,
I object.
I was gonna say, Piper, that's a
Damn.
that just point. That was right for you right there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Kind of feel called out. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Can't have racist depictions of werewolves. That's werewolfism.
Werewolfism.
Fucking, you look like lycanthrophobes. Very lycanthrophobic.
Yeah, this right here is definitely where it was very the Christians are running the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are we ready for General Standard C?
Further down the hole we go.
Yeah. All elements and techniques not specifically mentioned herein, but which are contrary to the spirit and the intent of the code and are considered violations of good taste or decency shall be prohibited. Dialogue. Profanity, obscenity, smut, vulgarity, or words or symbols which have acquired undesirable meanings are forbidden. Don't say snatch.
Oh shit! Like they were purposely trying to kill horror comics. What was your first clue? The whole horror and terror can't be in the titles, or right. All of the content can't exist.
Yeah.
Right. This one's definitely applied now. It's like trap. You can't even use that word to say a clever device has been placed here with which to entrap people.
Right. Special persecutions. No, precautions. Why not say persecution? Special precautions to avoid references to physical afflictions or deformities shall be taken.
Yeah, that one's being reinforced today.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nope, look, you're not handicapped. You're handicapable, okay?
I have no legs!
Honestly, I think these three, they're being enforced.
Oh, yeah, these are definitely being enforced by...
Yeah, the SJW brought them back.
Yeah. Although slang and colloquialisms are acceptable, excessive use should be discouraged, and, whenever possible, good grammar shall be employed.
That never happened.
Okay, this is now we're getting into the nitty gritty here.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Religion. Ridicule or attack of any religious or racial group is never permissible unless they're white or Christian. I'm adding this.
Yeah, they need to update they need to update the comics code. Costume.
Let's see here. Okay, costumes. Nudity in any form is prohibited, and as is indecent or undue exposure. So I guess Power Girl's boob window is just nope.
Aww. The chat's mean.
The chat is for once right, and that's I know who that is. You come in with that avatar and don't think I know who you are, son?
I had to squint, but yeah. Oh. Oh. It's just you.
Don't worry, Scruffy's on a break. Yeah. Where were we? Okay, nudity. Okay. Suggestive and salacious illustrations or suggestive posture is unacceptable. That is happening today.
Yeah.
And that started with that whole Hawkeye bullshit.
Yeah.
Although it was funny as shit. I'm not.
It was funny,
lie.
but now that you see the purpose behind it, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I understood the purpose behind it, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cringy, but it's still fucking funny.
Yeah, but but look what we have now, thanks to, Hawkeye pose.
Yeah.
Gaines, Brand EC, which published Tales from the Crypt.
Bill Gaines ran EC. Yeah. We get EC. That was Tell me what EC is. I'm drawing a blank on the EC.
Something comics.
I know it's something comics, obviously, but Seth, when you hear this in 30 seconds, give me them deets, fam. Holy shit, they were no different from SJWs. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this stream.
Everything boomerangs, entertaining comics. Okay, thank you. But yeah, that was kind of the whole point of like going over this, is like to show that yes, this is coming from a definitely. I would think we would all three of us would agree. This is coming from a right wing agenda.
Yeah.
But it's being adopted by the left wing, which is why
why
the
horseshoe a little bit. And now it's
and now why the horseshoe theory is in effect. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see. All characters shall be depicted and dressed reasonably acceptable to society. Females shall be brought. Now here's where it gets really good. This was.
Oh, the spork was here! Yay!
The spork here, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, accidentally watching on my daughter's account for a bit. Whoops. It's okay. My very important question is Taco watching. Because if Taco's not watching, I'm just going to end the stream.
Shut it down.
Barely headed it and started publishing crime, horror, and sci-fi.
Yeah, that seems like they were deliberately going after him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. Taco's watching.
Yeah. Oh, wow. They probably were really pissed when it went from Bible stories to entertaining comics.
I wonder if that's where, where did the image, I got to find that, that image that we see on Twitter sometimes where it shows like, it's a drawing, you can tell it's from a comic with Jesus going, but it's edited and it says block, 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 you're all blocked, none of you are free from sin.
Isn't that the one that also has the one where it says they hated Jesus because he spouted the truth?
Yeah, and they hated him for he spoke the truth.
Oh, that gets used a lot with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was Jack Chick. Okay, I was making sure. I thought Jack Chick was the whole like let's do drugs and deny Christ.
Yeah, Chick tracks. D&D is the devil.
That is still. I love that scene. It's just the funniest scene ever. Just two people dancing, and she just randomly says, "Let's do drugs," and the other guy says, "And deny Christ."
Yeah, sure. If there's time.
In between doing some blow.
You know what's better than drugs and denying Christ? Premarital sex.
Ooh.
I love premarital sex.
Oh boy. Didn't John Tron do a video like 'cause somebody made movies about these things?
The guys that did Journey Quest, which is and a bunch of other D&D style shows.
Yeah.
They got permission from Jack Chick to actually do an adaptation of his old Chick track.
Mm-hmm.
And they played it seriously because they knew how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
And it really came off as JonTron didn't know that these people knew how retarded it was.
Uh-huh.
And that's why they were doing it. They put so much work into making it look to be an accurate portrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was the only way they could get the permission from Jack Chick to do it.
So, okay. So essentially they were going in to make fun of it, but where were we? Oh, gosh. So costumes. All characters shall be depicted. Okay. Females shall be drawn realistically without... Note.
This girl with the fat titties and the thick thighs, she doesn't exist.
Yeah.
She's the figment of my imagination.
Yep. Note. It should be recognized that all prohibitions dealing with costume... Oh, here we go. You ready for this, guys? Marriage and sex. Divorce shall not be treated humorously nor represented as desirable. Joe Quesada.
Yeah. God.
Why didn't you follow this rule, you faggot? Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm still having a mad on for Mr. Quesada. Let's see.
I want to read some.
Go ahead.
Yay!
Go ahead. So you're starting with number 2.
Okay. Illicit sex relations are neither to be hinted at nor portrayed. Violent love scenes as well as sexual abnormalities are unacceptable.
No pegging. Because that is unnatural. I didn't say gay sex. I just said no pegging. That means a woman can't put a strap on and, you know.
So this, as it's today, yeah, this is still mostly, except for everybody can talk about being gay.
Mike says, "Well,
In
I'm
fact,
out."
it's like required.
Like Mike says, "Well, I'm out."
Fine, fine, you can read them.
Seth's gonna send us some resources, I guess.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Some women have beep.
Respect for parents, moral code, and for honorable behavior shall be followed. Sympathetic understanding of the problems of love is not a license for morbid distortion. What?
Mom and dad is the law, I guess. And it doesn't matter how retarded your parents are, you still got to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, this is a very enforcing the Christian part of it. So the SJWs took a lot of that out. The treatment of live romance stories shall emphasize the value of the home and the sanctity of marriage. Yeah, they threw that one out, though. They threw that one way the fuck out. Passion or romantic interest shall never be treated in such a way as to stimulate the lower and baser emotion.
Oh.
Make sure your comic does not make any kid pop any boners. Whatever.
Also, make sure that the female character understands that she's going to be so barefoot and pregnant as soon as they get married.
They just had to put if it's a and sex perversion or any inference to the same is strictly forbidden.
There's your gay sex. Because
yeah,
we're perverts.
Yeah. Now this rule's still in effect. You just can't talk perverted about women or straight sex.
Yeah, straight sex is perverted and unnatural.
Yeah. So no comics about journalists. Code for advertising matter. You can read again if you want.
No, you go ahead. Or Xavier can, whatever.
These regulations are applicable to all magazines published by members of the Comics Magazine Association of America, Inc. Good taste shall be the guiding principle in the acceptance of advertising. Number 1. Liquor and tobacco advertising is not acceptable, Wolverine. Number 2. Advertisement of sex or sex instruction books are unacceptable.
The fuck? Hey, kids.
Hey, kids. Want to learn how to bone?
To be fair, I do swear I've seen an old comic version of the Kama Sutra.
I wouldn't be surprised, but damn.
The sale of picture postcards, pin-ups, art studies, or any other reproduction of nude or semi-nude figures is prohibited.
Yeah, they want that one again.
Yeah.
They're bringing that one back.
Oh, yeah.
Advertising for the sale of knives or realistic gun facsimiles is prohibited.
No pop guns.
Oh, no.
Advertising for the sale of fireworks is prohibited.
Fireworks?
Jeez.
Wow.
I guess this is all the shit that's in the back of the book, and this is why you had the X-ray specs for a quarter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the X-ray specs were the only thing left, and, what is it? Sea monkeys?
Sea monkeys.
Yeah. It was the only thing left.
Sea monkeys?
Advertising, dealing with the sale of gambling equipment or printed matter dealing with gambling shall not be accepted.
No, see, they pushed that now. It's called video games.
Man.
Nudity with meretricious? Is that a word?
Meretricious? Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what that word means.
Yeah, I would
Can you look that up for me?
Myself.
Meretricious purpose and salacious postures shall not be permitted in the advertising of any product. Clothed figures shall never be presented in such a way as to be offensive or contrary to good taste or morals.
Jesus.
So
Yeah, there's pretty much, they're definitely going with that again.
this is all like super subjective too.
Yeah.
It's basically set up you can't win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To the best of his ability,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sexist.
each publisher shall ascertain that all statements made in advertisements conform to fact and avoid misrepresentation.
Well, they threw that one out.
Yeah, sea monkeys. Brine shrimp.
Meretricious.
Advertisement
I was going to be meretricious. Apparently attractive, but having, in reality, no value or integrity.
Thought?
Relating to or characteristic of a prostitute.
So, thought.
Thought. Yeah.
They were on Thought Patrol even back then, goddamn.
Yeah, they were getting right to work.
Advertisement of medical, health, or toiletry products of questionable nature are to be rejected. Advertisements for medical, health, or toiletry products endorsed by the American Medical Association or the American Dental Association shall be deemed acceptable if they conform with all other conditions of the advertising codes.
Don't buy this brand of off-brand toilet paper because but buy the Charmin because we say it's okay.
Quilted Northern, you fucking commie.
The Comic Sutra. So no comics about game journalists. Well, let's see. You can't drink. You can't do drugs.
Can't be perverts.
Can't be perverts, and you
Half
can't
of
have.
them are gone now.
And you can't have sex. So yeah, no, you can. You would definitely have no comics about game journalists.
Or the entire page would just be covered in nothing but freaking noise bubbles with wank in it.
Yeah. So the only thing that we see from this comic code that we could agree with is thoughts need to be patrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But no, so the whole point of the night was like to read through the comic code and see how a lot of this shit is getting reapplied today by the NPCs. And I don't think the idiots even realize that they're doing it.
Yeah. No, minus like the more of the religious zealotry of the description. So if you tweak some of these, change the wording a little bit,
Yeah.
to go from conservative version to I guess
NPC.
liberal version, NPC version,
Yeah.
then yeah, they're trying to at least enforce most of the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that someone should do like that so-called Squared group did and replace this with some of the feminist NPC buzzwords and see if they're too stupid to realize what they're agreeing with?
Yeah.
Very nice idea.
Because I'd like to see that.
What's like was it Campus Reform did with what's up? Hey, superfans, tired of your fingers tearing through the toilet paper, causing you to question your sexuality? Buy Charmin 4-ply super pack.
You should have read that like an old timey commercial.
Yeah, no. That a lot of it applies to what they're doing now, right? They would look at it as like, oh, that's not what I believe, and then they would literally go and spout the same shit.
Yeah, just with their different words, their millennial words.
Yeah.
You could probably go on a Twitter scavenger hunt
Mm-hmm.
and assign a tweet from one of those pros to
Yep.
each section.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
If anybody's autistic enough to do that, it'd be a lot of fun to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not blocked by Gale, you'll find a lot of these on.
Yeah. But the whole sex instruction books, that's just
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean, granted, like I said, the whole, I agree, and I would say the whole list is bunk. I am a conservative, right? I would say I'm pretty much dyed-in-the-wool conservative, and I find these rules abhorrent. I was like, there's no need for this bullshit, because and my feelings have always been just the market, the free market decides, right? Back in the day, that if you were in, the wholesome comic book that came out, if you didn't buy that, were you considered a Nazi or a commie? I guarantee you that's what went on. I'm willing to take bets. Of course, they didn't have social media back then, so you probably didn't hear it. It was like, instead of buying that crime drama, why don't you buy this Superman book? I don't know. I don't think I want to buy Superman. What are you, a commie?
No, I'm not a commie. I'm not a commie.
I'll buy Superman. I'll buy Superman.
I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy. I mean, you got to have that comic book of Superman with, saying, Superman says, slap a Jap. You know what I mean? So...
An H Superman.
So now it's like, it's like, let's say we'll just use Captain Marvel. So, oh, you want to buy Captain Marvel? No, I don't really want to buy Captain Marvel. She's not really my type. I don't like that kind of book. What are you, a sexist? What? No, I'm not a sexist.
I don't know. These Captain Marvel books on my shelf kind of say you are. If some of them start disappearing, I might think otherwise.
You're basically Red Skull, to be honest. You're basically Red Skull. Take that, me. But yeah, it's just like you could, like each section, there's like at least 2 or 3 rules you could pick out, reapply it to, SGW NPCs, and it would be right down their alley. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I think I could agree with is like using proper grammar.
If you're advertising something, you have to do it honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but the whole, like this one, it's like, and also a conservative, I'm also a Christian. The ridicule or attack of any religious or racial group is never permissible. But as we know, never permissible unless you're a Christian or a white person.
Yeah, it just needs fixed a little bit, but you're not allowed to do it to any other race or religion.
With that one, I would argue that either it's all allowed or none of it's allowed.
I agree with you, yeah. Hey, it's Native American skull, you bigot. Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah. Wait a second. All right, I said at the same time, he was like, wait a second. What are you talking about? What's going on here, big guy? Hey, Miora, you been drinking there, son?
I get it.
Yeah, I get it too. I'm just making a joke. Let's see. I like this profanity, obscenity, and smut.
Yeah. All the good stuff.
Yeah. And we definitely got, the whole, like, about the female form and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's definitely going on today.
I want to draw Storm as a realistic-looking female.
I was like, okay, you realize, like, okay, Storm is an African woman with white hair who is 6 feet tall. I'm sorry. How do you draw that, quote, realistically? I mean, unless you could draw her like she looks like an Ethiopian or something like that, skin and bones, but...
Professor X is our sponsor. $3 a day.
A says, drop Soylent that I have been struggling to open for hours. Christian and conservative?
Sweet mother of God.
He's like the Uber Hitler. Video, literally 2 minutes long, and but yeah. So yeah, he said, "I love how realism should apply to us, but not to them." Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need to have they need to look realistic.
It's like, look, if I want my superheroine to have big ass boobies and a nice fat ass, that's my business. I got nothing to do with you.
Right? Besides, There's freaking surgeries for that, so everything's realistic at this point.
Yeah. I mean, look at Kim Kardashian.
Even if it's plastic, it's still realistic.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Also-
still yeah.
Also, you're kind of saying that, women with big titties and big butts can't be superheroes. All they can be is models until they take that away from them. What are they supposed to do now?
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't forget about Faith.
Yeah.
God, that was so bad. It's just a bad book. It doesn't make any sense.
You can't even make attractive women, scientists or engineers, because it'll just be assumed that they're there for the male gaze, and they're still.
I wonder why they went ahead and made Faith, but Fat Mama is the one that won the Who Wants to Be a Superhero, and she was supposed to have a comic. And she was more entertaining.
Maybe she had the wrong politics.
Could be.
Well, it was a longer while back before this got like this bad.
Mm-hmm.
Who Wants to Be a Superhero? It was funny because it only I thought it was a cool concept for a game type.
Is that the one with Stan Lee involved in that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I thought I remember that.
Is that 05 or 06?
Yeah, it's pretty far back.
I think I knew someone.
Not to be mixed up with Stan Lee's real life superheroes.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about because he would give them challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, give them challenges, and they costume design and this and that, and it was pretty neat. It's sad that it only lasted one game, but by the end of it, I believe Fat Mama won, and was supposed to be in a comic book or have a comic book. But I think there was some scandal or something, and that's why not only did she not get a comic book, but they ended up never doing a season of that game.
I guarantee you she had the wrong politics of some kind. There was something in her background that they was like, oh no, we can't have her on there.
I think that was it was. It was at least something about her background.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, that's her, the actual person. And not the character that she's pretending to be. So you could still make a comic about Fat Mama, just not whatever her real name was. But yeah, it was something like that.
Maybe something to look up later.
Yep. Let's since we got a little time, let's talk about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Yay.
And how I didn't like it the second time I watched it.
You didn't like it the second time?
Mm-mm. You kind of got I don't know if I like this anymore kind of thing.
I watched it twice, and I was kind of like that too. I was hyped the first time,
and then the second time you're like, oh.
Time I paid more attention.
Yeah.
I like some of the things I'm seeing, but I think it was executed badly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling you earlier, I think it should have just been a teaser where somebody's on a street corner playing the Spider-Man theme, and then maybe a car hits something, he's going to fly at him, and a web grabs it, pulls it out of the way, saves the guy, and it just says 2020.
Yep.
And then the trailer is your end of credits stinger at the end of Avengers 4.
That you know that he's still alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
I kind of think that was really tasteless. They could have not put that in there.
Especially because, him turning to ash was the thing that everyone took home from Avengers 3.
Yeah, that whole I don't feel so good, I
want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, that and
I'm calling it the plot is going to be the same as the first Incredibles, probably. Because Mysterio, they're playing Mysterio off in the trailer as a good guy. He's not going to be a good guy. And I'm going to be really pissed if Hydro Man is just an illusion.
I thought I saw Sandman there, too.
I know I saw some fire elemental. A child singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider song in the rain near the river, and Spider-Man mask comes floating by. Then 2020 pops up. Ooh, that would be good.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's way better than showing all that. Let freaking people watch Avengers first.
Yeah.
Then show all that.
They should have never. Why are we seeing a Spider-Man trailer now before Avengers even comes out?
Yeah.
At least let us see what happens.
Yeah.
It has Nick Fury in it too, so
we know he lives.
People that undie.
No, 3. Tony.
Oh yeah. Because 3 people that undie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know Tony's still alive because he's leaves a note on his suit. So.
And that's a big problem because everyone was like, not everyone's going to make it out of Avengers 4 alive. Are they going to kill Robert Downey Jr.? Because, that'd be a big deal. No, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they're releasing the trailer now. They're trying to start the hype train now. I'm like,
But
if you'd done this at the end of Avengers 4, instantaneously, it would have been like you've been doing the hype train all year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they had just actually done teasers, because that was a full-on trailer. If they had actually done little teasers that don't tell you much other than, hey, Spider-Man's going to be back.
Oh, I got an
Then that
update on
would've
that
been
for you,
nice.
Mior. Because this just came out. Because Mior asked, could be distracting from us from the whole Star Wars fan movie debacle. I don't know if you heard about it, but Star Wars Theory got a claim put on his channel for the Star Wars fan movie that he made with Vader.
Aw.
See, I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, and it got taken down. Ethan Van Sciver, our Lord and Savior, the Sunbeam, just put out a video. I haven't watched it yet, but the title says, Lucasfilm demands the copyright claim removed from Star Wars Theory. The fans' voices are heard.
Nice.
So
I wouldn't put too much stock in this because they didn't stop it until after people got mad.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think that's why Ethan said the fans' voices are heard. Because there was a lot of people saying I'm done with Star Wars.
Yeah.
It went from like, I'll check out episode 9 to no kind of thing.
Because I saw a video from Star Wars Theory about it because I was trying to figure a little bit more what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He said, according to the person he talked to in the legal department,
Mm-hmm.
that if he filed a counterclaim, which is his right,
Mm-hmm.
not only would they strike his channel, but
they would
do a bunch of other shit
to get it
and
taken
take the
down.
video down.
No, to get his whole channel taken down too. Yeah. Which is stupid because he didn't monetize it, right?
I don't think it matters.
I'm just saying, what I always understood, as long as it's not monetized, it's free. I mean, yeah, so that means somebody else can come along and monetize it, which this happened to some videos of mine on my private channel,
Whoa.
Something I don't monetize my shit, but somebody else like, oh, well, it's got this riff from this one song, so we're going to monetize it kind of thing, so. Why are you talking? Why don't you just come on in? Don't talk crap in the chat like that.
Get in here. We'll have a longer show.
Mm-hmm.
A better show.
I lost interest in Star Wars after episode 7, I guess. So
Yeah, there he is.
I dodged a bullet.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess fucking beg you to come in here.
He probably just got off work.
Xavier, you talking shit?
Mad shit.
Look, nigga, look. I worked 14 hours. I will actually choke you through the goddamn internet right now. Do not think I won't.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, can I just say that I hate women?
Okay.
Yeah, you could say
Sure.
it.
You get along. You and Cap get along real well now. Well, we
Should change to actual misogynist mulatto.
Well, we did. We had convinced that the original comic code that apparently they were doing Thought Patrol back in the 1950s. So that worked out, right?
Fantastic. Well, yeah, sounds good.
Have you, since we're on subject, have you watched the new Spider-Man trailer?
Yes, I have. Holy shit.
I mean, we were just discussing it. I don't know how much you caught of it, but I liked it the first time I saw it. I watched it the second time, and I didn't like it as good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can explain why, but I was just let's because me and Piper kind of sounds like we're having the same issues. And of course, it's just a little thing. I mean, it's like. It's not that it was bad. I'm not calling it a bad trailer, right? It was a good trailer.
Yeah, it still looks like something I want to go see in the theater, but I have this nagging feeling of kind of
Yeah, it's kind of like kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
one thing, they just put major spoilers in this trailer, right?
yeah, that's pisses me off. That's not a teaser. That's spoiled a movie that's coming out a year before yours.
The biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's
You
be
mean
real.
Godzilla?
Is that really a spoiler though?
Oh no, not really. Like I've been saying, like everybody who thinks that these characters aren't coming back are stupid. But I thought the point was to have some suspense.
Like photos or supposedly leaked photos of this and that of the shooting of the Spider-Man movie have already been floating around. So you kind of already know.
Well, see, somebody like, let's put it this way, somebody like Nick Fury, you could have like conceivably like floated that that he wouldn't be back, right? You could have kind of like, oh, maybe Nick Fury isn't back,
Yeah.
But it's whatever. So, and like I said, in that
It seemed like their entire trailer was like, "Hey, guess who survives?"
Yeah. I do like and like I said, I mean, I like the note, but then I realized that the note is also a spoiler, the note of his suit being in his suitcase, and it said you forgot something, and it said Tony on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was like, well, we know Tony survives now,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of fan theories. Oh, Cap's going to die. Thor's going to die. I don't think nobody's going to die, in all honesty. I don't think anybody dies. I think they all come back. I think you might get a situation where, like, Cap will, like, quote, retire. Mm-hmm. So, Chris Evans can ride off into the sunset and fuck him. I think Chris Hemsworth actually does want to do another movie. Because he said he would do another movie if, like, the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok would direct,
Yeah, because
it was
he
the
was
first
originally
Thor
talking
movie.
about how he wanted to be done after Ragnarok because of Thor 2.
yeah. But then he did Ragnarok. He's like, movies can be fun.
Yeah, and then he did Ragnarok, and he was like, oh, you know what? I'll stick around.
Yeah, he's like, after dealing with them and dealing with the Russos, he's like, oh, wait. Movies can be fun.
It might get rid of Mark Ruffalo just because.
That'd be nice.
Because he's a shitty Hulk and Banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitty
I mean,
person.
I really, that's the one thing that kind of distressed me is that that Marvel kind of fucked over Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Because I honestly thought that movie was pretty good, and I would have loved to have seen it expounded upon, like, further of him being the Hulk and, Bruce
I
Banner.
just like Ed Norton better than Ruffalo.
Well, I mean,
I think we all do.
that's like comparing an apple tree to a pile of shit. Okay.
Damn,
Ed
dog.
Norton, they ought to get rid of Ruffalo, though. He's been a liability, dude. He leaks.
Oh yeah, he's just leaking shit all over the place. It's like,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be the bad comic book fan here and say I literally don't give a shit about all the spoilers in that trailer because you're a fucking retard if you actually thought that anybody was gonna stay dead in these fucking Marvel films.
yeah. I mean, like I said, but let me get to my real problems that go back to even Homecoming.
It's
Okay,
not
sure.
that it leaked. It's just that it's poor taste for people, It's poor taste to do that.
I
What
guess
they
it
did.
I would say
It is.
let's put it this way. It's poor taste for those people who came into Marvel movies and don't know anything about Marvel comics and don't realize that death isn't permanent and things like that.
Well, fuck
Yeah.
those people. These movies aren't for those people. Fuck them.
Well, then why
Well,
they still show up
It
is what
kind of fucks over. It fucks over anybody that was hoping it would kind of be somewhat of a surprise of who stays and who goes, because somebody's got to go.
or nobody has to go. I mean, it's honestly, who cares? At this point.
Well,
I mean,
because
supposedly they're trying to usher in different whatevers of different characters.
yeah, that's
or
great. But
whatever.
like I said, when Captain Marvel comes out, that's going to be the beginning of the end of Marvel movies anyway. So I don't really. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But to get back to
And
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, but
I was gonna say just to revisit my previous point. Fuck them.
But here's the thing that I said. This goes back to my problems with Homecoming, which was a good movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, right? But there's still niggling problems.
Wow, racist.
I said niggling, not never mind. Like the characters around Peter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't like quote Flash Thompson because that's not Flash.
Yeah, that character's kind of
It's like he's
flat.
I mean, I can understand, like, Xavier and I were talking about earlier, can understand, like, him not being a jock. Because nowadays, it's like, the jocks hang out with the geeks more often, right? Because, they hang out because, hey, they can help me with my schoolwork, and, they're actually kind of cool kind of thing. We both like comic books and Marvel and video games,
Right.
So you could see, like, the rich, snobby ones being the kind of the picking, to pick on somebody like Peter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then just make Flash a rich snobby guy and not like also a science guy. That's stupid. Why is Flash Thompson a science guy? Like I said,
because why not?
It has nothing to do, probably people say, oh, well, you don't like him because he's played by an actor of color. No, it has nothing to do with that. He could be played by, a bear for all I care, right? But he needs to be
a bear that convinces you he's human.
And runs for president. Possible spoilers for a later project. But the whole point is like that doesn't sit well with me. I don't like the MJ character. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
But and plus she's like everything that I despise about like she just has this whole like the whole chip on her shoulders. Like I'm a feminist and appropriation and all this stuff. Like no, come on, get out of here.
Yeah, it's
everything else is great.
Morbid, edgy teen.
Yeah, I liked what's his name as Vulture?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
I like Michael Keaton as Vulture. I thought that was really good. I mean, like somebody in the chat earlier said I'm getting kind of tired of Tom Holland. I thought Tom Holland's been a pretty good Spider-Man, in all honesty. Because
I like him.
Because the problem with Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. If you're going to give a totality to problem, was that Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, like, that lovable loser type, but he was a bad Spider-Man.
Yeah. It wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, whereas Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but a bad Parker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
really liking Tom Holland.
I think Tom Holland's kind of got that mix of both. He's a good
got
Peter.
The awkwardness. Yeah,
he's a good Peter and he's a good Spider-Man. He really knows how to nail his lines for the quips and things like that. So,
Kind of reminds me of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. That's what they were going for. I'm really shocked we haven't seen Miles in these movies.
Yeah, especially since his fat friend is in there.
I thought there was a hint at Miles somewhere that they were going through something and the name Morales popped up.
Yeah, but as a general rule, you don't count on something until you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, for some reason, his bestie is Peter's bestie.
Bill Nye bullies Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's how it fucking works, man.
Yeah. A slow build, a tease, and then when it's near release, hit with that epic reveal. Yeah. We were just talking about. I like how Ace, after doing this editing on the GVGA, he's become like super. I know how movies work, man. I mean, he's right though. You got to hit him. That first trailer got to be an actual teaser. This was a full trailer. They call it a teaser trailer. Fuck that noise.
Yeah,
it was a full fucking trailer.
I'm like, no, there's a difference. There's teasers and there's trailers.
I mean, teasers are like 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
This was a
teasers
2-minute
are literally
trailer.
just like, hey, guess what? We made a thing. Like.
Okay, Miles' uncle was in Homecoming. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, that was the guy that said you sound like a girl.
Oh.
Aaron Davis. Wait, isn't that the Prowler?
I think so. Yeah, but wasn't he played by
Donald Glover?
Yeah, what's up with Donald Glover just playing everything all of a sudden?
This is America.
I mean, I know, but it's just he's all over the place now. Like,
I think people are reminded of the fact that that guy can actually fucking act.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody just knows of it as fucking Childish Gambino. That they seem to forget that he had an acting career before he was doing all this hip hop rap shit.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I still remember him from freaking internet skit comedy. Like before he even started doing stuff. He was really young.
I know exactly what video you're talking about, and I'm very sad that I can't bust out what it's called. Very sad. It's got the ultra super mega naughty word that I can't fucking say.
That one you said last week?
He was in a lot of skits, though. I can't remember what because he was him and a couple other people, and I can't remember what they were calling their group, but it was before he started showing up in, like, actual TV and stuff.
Mm.
and then movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was funny as hell. Inappropriate as shit, yeah. But
His Community role outshined Childish Gambino for a bit. That's what Ace says. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, because I mean that's what a lot of people know him from is from Community. That's where I first found out about him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he also does music. All right, and I listened to his music. I was like, oh, this is kind of all right.
This is
His music does not resonate with me as much as his acting did, or his stand up. His stand up is fucking great.
I was gonna say I like him at his best when he's being funny.
Yeah, Muir's right. Ghostbusters 3. That's how you do a teaser.
Have they put a teaser out?
Yeah, that's Sam Raimi or not Sam Raimi. Ivan Reitman's kid. That's why it was trending yesterday.
I thought they were just saying that he was going to direct it. I didn't know there was an actual teaser.
It's really, really good.
Okay, I have to
As
check
far
that
as
out.
it really builds up the tension and all of it. You know something's gonna happen, and I don't know if I should just tell you what it is or just let you watch it.
I'll watch it later. Don't worry about it. But I like how that's one of those things. But it's kind of funny. It's like, you remember who's the director for the reboot Ghostbusters?
Paul Feig.
Yeah, you remember that whole thing he was saying was, oh, this is going to be a big franchise. The reboot and it's going to start over. We're going to have like 3 or 4 sequels. No, because you got to have a good first movie, and that didn't work out too well.
3 or 4 sequels with actresses who have absolutely no chemistry from one another and are always trying to steal the scene from each other.
Derek comedy, that's what it was.
Thank
You're right, Piper. That is the name of the thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Except for Kate McKinnon, I think she did all right.
Did anybody watch the Ghostbusters movie?
I did.
Okay, nobody else.
No.
No. Okay, let me rewind. Anybody watch Ghostbusters the original or the second one?
I did.
Okay, I did.
Oh,
Too.
the movies? Yeah.
Yeah. I like that Ghostbusters 3. We're sorry.
Yeah, I've seen the first original 2 Ghostbusters movies like
Here's the actual
5,000
sequel
times
that
at this point.
here's the actual sequel that everybody wants.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say,
Isn't it like they're gonna pretend like the one with the chicks didn't happen at all?
Oh yeah. This is taking place in the original universe, but in modern day. So it'll be like 30 years.
So it's an actual sequel, and the Ghostbusters was the chicks was supposed to be an alternate
universe. Yeah.
but also set in modern day.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too hard, Piper.
And also just forget it existed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm giving it more thought than it's worth.
Yeah.
I can smell the smoke.
I think they're going to do a passing the torch movie, but do it in such a way that he basically achieves the goal that they wanted with the reboot, but does it better.
Yeah.
But will it make Ghostbusters not fucking boring?
You mean Ghostbusters in general or chick Ghostbusters?
I think he meant in general.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a huge Ghostbusters fan.
Well, yeah.
I thought I'd get. I'm sorry. I am but a humble Negro. I have that.
He
Well,
was.
they had a token black guy in the group, so you should be all up in there.
He was my favorite part, I'll admit. It's I'll put it this way. I don't hate Ghostbusters, but I know for a lot of people who watched it during their childhood, it was like it's a big part of their childhood and they fucking love it. I don't have that same affectation for it, but I can appreciate it as a film.
I think.
Yeah, it was never huge for me either. It was just one of those, oh, that's a funny movie right there.
I think with Ghostbusters, it's kind of like one of those things. If it's like you're flipping through channels and it's on, oh, I'll stop and watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I always said, like that's what Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is. You don't give the other 2 movies like but if Last Crusade's on, you're like, I'm just gonna stop it right there and watch it. It's
Like,
because
both the Ghostbuster movies for me, I remember watching them the most when they were on TV. So yeah.
It's all about that cartoon with me. That cartoon was...
Yeah.
I did really love the cartoon.
what real
I did
Ghostbusters?
like the cartoon.
Yes.
That was good. Yeah,
I love that shit.
that they went into stuff that you really wanted to see in the movies. Like
Yeah.
they actually had Wolfman and shit like that. It's like,
But you know what was a better animated series than that?
what's that?
The Godzilla animated series.
Wait, which one?
Godzuki.
Oh God.
The one with Godzuki.
Rick, use the Godzilla signal.
I like the Extreme Ghostbusters too because it's unintentionally funny.
Yeah, that was their first attempt, and I jokingly say this is at a progressive Ghostbusters, because you had the handicapped man, you had
It was the Burger King Club in Ghostbusters.
But
and the Asian chick turned like goth Asian chick. Like
yeah.
but you know why people liked it? Because it was a sequel to the original Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all
Very
tied
open
together.
about it.
Yeah, it all tied together.
yeah, it did a good job. It was just things about it were unintentionally funny, like the fact that it's the Burger King.
Listen to Mior over
Slash-
here. It was progressive too. We had a Mexican player, a goth Jew, a black engineer, and the only white guy was in a wheelchair, and he was a jock.
Good
You
lord.
know, that's right too.
Miori, you fucking madman.
Wasn't Ray in it, or was it Egon that was the other?
Egon
Egon
was their
was still in it.
mentor?
Yeah, he was like their mentor,
Yeah.
leader. Yeah.
They did an episode, a two-parter, where the original team all came back together, and you find out that Winston's the only one that actually has a real life. Ray went to work for this R&D company until he blew up their lab, and now he works at a car dealership. Nobody knows what Peter is doing other than he's trying to get them to make another movie about them. Nobody will listen. And Winston holds a regular job and is doing pretty all right for himself, if I remember correctly.
Well, he was doing that before he even joined.
Oh, yeah.
What I would see, the joke was, I would do some little playing into this, especially if the new Ghostbusters, if they bring back some of the old cast. I say some because obviously they can't have Harold Ramis, but
Right.
if they say Ernie Hudson became a government liaison, and then they could tie that into Transformers Prime, where he was a government liaison to the Autobots. Because he did the voice for the Agent Fowler, so that'd be.
Ray, we gotta bust these Cybertronian ghosts.
Wait, robot ghosts? Why not? Wait a minute. Out of all the shit that we've seen, this is the weirdest thing you've seen.
I'd like to remind you that as a ghost, Starscream almost attached Unicron's head to Cybertron to make a new body.
Yes.
As you do.
Yeah. I mean, what would you do if you had found yourself into a crazed planet-eating monster? You would attach its head to another planet and make it a planet-eating monster again, of course.
I mean, when you put it that way, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. It's literally, why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, screw it. Why not? Do it.
Looking back, it was the best summer of my life.
Good lord.
We laughed, we cried, we tried to attach monster heads to robot planets. Yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, I think we've tied into. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta say, what was good about the Spider-Man trailer? Mysterio. Yeah,
He looks pretty cool.
yeah. Because
I'm really interested in how they're going to utilize him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm betting that the elementals that they're showing in the trailers are going to be his illusions.
Right.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised if some of the tech he's using came from when Thanos's people came and tried to were fighting and stuff like that. I guarantee you it's some shit like that. Because it's got to be. It seems like some kind of reality warping stuff. Because Spider-Man, you could see he was fighting. He was actually fighting. I'm call it Hydro Man, even though I know it's not going to really be Hydro Man.
Yeah.
He was fighting Hydro Man, and he was actually getting wet and shit. So I'm thinking there's going to be some reality warping shit going on.
The only way I can see around that is, depending on how he's projecting his illusions, is if it's not just a hologram, it's also a form of hypnosis, and kind of a mind makes it real. You
Yeah.
think you're wet, and then, he does a fucking thing.
Mhm.
Oh, they blew up this bridge? Watch. It's fixed now.
Yeah.
Onward, citizen.
You
Why is
can
my
kind of
suit
tell that there. I think it was in one of the animated series is where they tried to make Mysterio tried to make himself like a hero by creating the problems that only he could fix.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that Spectacular Spider-Man?
I believe it was
Or-
Spectacular. Yeah,
I was a little bit wondering if that was what they were trying to do with that.
they're clearly
Because otherwise, I couldn't figure out that that aspect of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I personally loved his portrayal in the Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 2 game, where he's just a special effects guy that's trying to prove that Spider-Man's a phony. Builds outrageous obstacle courses for Spider-Man to do while he shoots a laser cannon at him.
Did you know one of the concepts for I think it was a Spider-Man 4 if Sam Raimi was going to direct it was going to be Mysterio, and you know who he was going to have to play Mysterio?
No.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
I'm glad we didn't get a Spider-Man 4. Yeah, if it was just Sandman, I think that movie would have been really good.
Just Sandman with that Goblin subplot would have been fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
adding Venom, you could tell that was a studio decision. Studio wanted Venom.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Raimi always he's like the more of that like classic Silver Age type Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
He did not want to do a Venom story. I mean, he went on record in saying that he did not really want to do a Venom story. So it was kind of like thrust upon him. Now, introducing the suit in Spider-Man 3 might have been okay.
Yeah.
You know, get that aggressive Peter and make it aggressive and not whatever that was.
Look, man, I will defend that shit to my fucking death because that was hilarious and camp as fuck. And if you're watching a Sam Raimi movie and you're not wanting camp as fuck, you're doing something wrong.
I mean, yeah, if I'm watching
Peter Parker, this is Boogie Nights.
Raimi does it was a bad idea when talking about 3. Oh, so that's why people were photoshopping Bruce's head on Mysterio's body. Yeah, that because Bruce had already made I think he made an appearance in all 3 movies, didn't he?
Oh, that's right, he did.
Because he was like the usher in the second one, and he had something in the first one. I just can't remember what it was.
He was the wrestling and ring announcer.
That's right, he was the announcer. Yeah, and I forgot what he was in the third one.
He was the waiter that was going to bring the ring and the drink.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think the movie, Spider-Man 3 would have been a lot better with just the Sandman and the Goblin subplot without the symbiote.
Mm.
yeah.
Do we even need to talk about Amazing Spider-Man?
We can talk about how shit it is.
I like the first one.
Good.
I didn't
Why?
bother watching them.
It was
a different villain.
Yeah, but the second one was just like, what are y'all doing?
So Wayne, you enjoyed seeing Spider-Man quip like he was fucking Deadpool?
It was better than what he was doing in the first 3 movies, which was hardly anything.
I mean, look.
I mean, come on, the whole him saying, "Oh no, a knife, my only weakness." I thought that was pretty funny.
No, that was pretty. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Is that a knife? And then, that's like the one where I was like, okay, all right, I'm somewhat endeared. But the rest of the movie, I'm just like, this doesn't feel like Spider-Man though.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
And yes, the second one was just like,
I like that too. Emma Stone, a natural redhead who looks like Mary Jane, was cast as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's like who was in the first series of movies. God, what's her name? Who played Mary Jane?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst, a natural blonde, is playing a redhead.
Yeah.
And I think
But
the
they
girl.
said the reasoning was that she had the girl next door look more.
I
So
guess.
that's why.
Because she's got those jank ass teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry when people say, girl next door look. That's usually what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Like she's
Yeah.
pretty.
Not
She's
good
pretty
looking
until
face,
she
but
smiles.
jank ass teeth.
Pretty until
Yeah.
she smiles, kind of thing. Yeah.
And you're like,
Parents couldn't afford the braces.
And then there was the girl who played Gwen in the third movie. I forgot what her name.
I don't know who the fuck that bitch was.
But she's a natural redhead too.
Let's give Chad a minute. They might get the answers for us.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
No, Emma Stone was in the
She was in the Amazing
Amazing
movies.
Ones. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, the natural redhead is playing a blonde.
Well, the natural blonde was.
I mean, I guess I'm going to be that guy and say that the best thing Gwen Stacy ever did was die.
Damn, dog.
Bryce Dallas Howard, she was in Jurassic Park. Okay, yeah.
Who?
At the time, she was
Jurassic Park.
At the time,
Holy
she was
crap.
At the time, she was kind of becoming a name, and then didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she was in the fucking the terrible Jurassic Park movies, which is all of them except for the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't in all of those movies, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm. She looked
Yeah.
pretty old in the role too. Yeah, and also what's really funny, I remember they were showing because even then after that bad movie, they were talking about sequels. You know, because I think they said something like they Sony had planned up to 3 more sequels. And they were talking about bringing her back because, of course, they wanted to try to bring her in as a opposite love interest to Mary Jane because they made Mary Jane a stone bitch in those movies.
Yeah.
But I remember they were talking about bringing her back, but then like they showed her during, like when they, when they go on red carpets and things like that to, to movies and stuff like that, and she got like really fat. Bryce Dallas Howard, she got really fat and stuff, and people were like, "Oh wow, what's going on here, big guy?"
Also, I think somebody in chat is upset because I said Jurassic Park 2 is not good.
Oh, Jurassic Park 2 is good. Fight me.
Not as good as the first one.
Jurassic Park 2 is like good when you compare it to everything except for the original.
Yeah.
But as soon as you bring in the original, you're like, oh no, Jurassic Park 2 fucking sucks.
The best part about Jurassic Park 2 is the arcade game.
Damn dog.
It has some good spots, but the best thing to come from it is that arcade game. That fucking shooter is fantastic. Shoot the brontosaurus poop before it wrecks your Jeep.
So when you say Jurassic, so you're talking about like 2, 3, and the both world movies, huh? Jordan.
Jurassic Park 3. Man.
Who? What now?
When you're saying that all of them were bad except for one, so you're saying that you include 2, 3, and the world movies, right?
Yeah, 2, 3, and the new like series.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't hate the first Jurassic World. I think Raptor Bro is what really kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for him to turn Jurassic Park into Dino Riders. Because
I mean, right? It's that close, right? I mean, basically, that's what they were doing to the Raptors. The Raptors were basically Dino Riders.
Yeah, they've been teasing that shit since Jurassic Park 3.
Right.
They're weaponizing the dinosaurs.
Good night, Seth. You have a good one.
Oh, good night.
Bryce Dallas Howard being fat would make the web shot back snap even crazier.
Good lord.
Instead of a crack,
everybody's being spicy.
Instead of a crack, you hear a crunk.
She doesn't bounce. She buries.
She doesn't bounce. She impacts.
Big human-shaped crater.
God damn, y'all. Damn.
Hey man. All right, I forgot. We're not. I forgot Piper standards and practices. We're not supposed to make fun of fat people.
I mean, but
Yeah.
Wayne, you and I are both honorary fat people, so we can fucking mock fatties as much as we fucking want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll put $1 in the jar later.
Okay, you're lucky.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna hold you to that. I could totally use.
Guys, stop fat shaming or Piper will tone police you.
yeah. That's what happened last
I
night.
would-
It was last night or night before. She was like fucking like, all right, don't talk about Gail's appearance. I was like, oh, she's fat.
I didn't say don't talk about Gail's appearance.
I know what you were
said
saying. Is
I
like,
want everybody to know that I'm not doing that because
Yeah.
Wow,
I hear
wow,
it.
Piper, getting kind of NPC-ish up in here, aren't you?
What's next?
No,
Orange
I
Man
just
bad?
want to criticize her for being a bitch.
I get what she was saying. It was just
No, I know.
It was just we made it a bit that
Yeah. And then the next show, I was freaking making fun of Quesadilla up and down.
Oh yeah, Joe Quesada, that was funny. Yeah, look at this. We found out something, Jordan. I don't know if you watched last night's show, but we figured out that Joe Quesada looks exactly like Alex Jones, and it was not even close. I'm like, holy shit! I made that by accident. I was like,
I'm still waiting on somebody to put his head on the Alex Jones, like.
Oh my god,
body.
I'm looking at him right now, and holy fucking shit, he does.
They say he'll be normal during the day, but at night, in the presence of goblins, Alex Jones.
Oh no.
so you should need what she wants is like a Photoshop of Quesada's head on Alex Jones's body where he's like got his shirt off. You know?
Yeah.
Where he's going around.
This is peak male performance.
Yeah, with the supplement in the background.
That's some super male vitality in the background, like. Yeah, you missed my whole. I went into a whole like Alex Jones impersonation too. I mean, remember that one where he went crazy. You damn cowards! You pieces of shit! And then at the end,
Fucking fucker.
yeah, you fucking fucker. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I like how often he does it, but he goes, "Excuse me, I don't usually cuss."
This is a family show, but I'm just very upset right now.
Just very
Yeah.
upset.
I had a big bowl of chili today.
had a big old steak. And,
I get that red meat in me.
your ancestors used to hunt cave bears. It's never not a good time to make fun of Alex Jones.
Oh, I'm not making fun of him, man. That he is a magical being, and I emulate his voice because I want to gain some of his power.
Ah, okay, right.
I will gain that third sight.
Where you can see the dimensional Nazis.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see the interdimensional vampiric pedophiles.
That voted for.
I wish I was making that up.
God.
We know.
We're gonna start a show one day, and Milano's gonna come in. He's like, "Guys, the goblins are real."
See, okay, I know this has nothing to do with anything, but okay, here is why Alex Jones both entertains and scares the fuck out of me.
Okay.
Okay, you know the meme about turning the frogs gay?
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
Nope.
There were chemical dumping that was being done that turned frogs into the opposite sex.
Yep.
He was right about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of.
And even though you're like, that nigga's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because
In the back of my mind, I was like, but what if he's not though? What if there actually are interdimensional vampiric pedophiles that are like pulling the strings? It sounds stupid, but he was right about the frogs. You can't ignore the fucking frogs, man. If it wasn't for the fucking frogs, I'd look at him and go, no, that nigga's crazy. But I now have to consider maybe he's right about everything. I don't like that.
Well, why do you think they're so hell bent on making sure he's never anywhere ever again?
Yeah.
Truth. Yeah. A broken clock is still right twice a day. That
I know. It's like ever since that frog thing happened, I was like, I went from like, lol, Alex Jones, he's a meme, to holy fucking shit. Like, it's like, my third eye fucking opened, but it was like, the eye was really fucking red and bloodshot.
Mm-hmm. It's like it had been waiting for like a few years to open, and it finally opened. You're like, oh.
He was right about the frogs. Fuck. I don't know why I turned into a demon. Apparently, when this shit happens.
You've
The
taken
cop-
your first step
It's
into a
those
much larger
pedophile
world.
vampires, dude.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
interdimensional.
the fucking.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet you that the interdimensional vampiric pedophiles are probably Japanese.
Wow.
That would explain anime.
Wow.
I
Got
don't
it.
know.
Hey, what do we always say about anime? 2 nukes weren't enough.
Hey man.
No,
look,
that's what started that in the first place.
I love me. Fuck, I love me some fucking weird ass anime bullshit.
Let's see. Evil Bob Mike says mulatto the male vitality intensifies. Jordan A says Jordan began singing an old time spiritual on the spot. At last I see. Jordan, the CIA wants a word with you.
Joke's on you, Mior. That shit's technically legal in the United States. Eat my ass.
Spork says third time's a charm. Yeah. You're violating the comics code with your. Basically, what we were talking about is like some of the puritanical BS that the Comics Code Authority was. You know,
right? Yeah,
is being applied today by NPCs.
Well, of course.
Well, it goes back to the horseshoe theory.
Slightly edited a little bit.
Yeah. And some things you don't even slightly edit. It's like just there it is.
Yeah,
you know?
some things are straight up.
Yeah, but it's like it goes to the horseshoe theory. You know, it's like eventually it all comes back around, and it amazes me that, you know, like I said, I mean, I don't know if you've ever read the Comics Code, but I'm sure you got an idea.
It's not all bad because there literally is a rule against thoughts.
Yeah, there was actual thoughts will be patrolled essentially.
The one good thing about it.
Yeah, it was basically, you know, it was during that time of you know, when horror pulp comics and things like that were going on, and we can't have the kiddies reading these bad comics because they get the wrong idea. Because, you know, there's no way adults would buy comic books, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's for children.
Yeah.
Come on now. Just like video games.
Horseshoe theory because they are all nags. That's good.
Cartoons are for kids too. Remember Blockbuster? This Japanese cartoon with the girl with the big titties and the very weird look on her face? This is for kids.
Remember Violence Jack? That's for kids.
Xavier's example was a blue girl.
Oh yeah, you missed that too, Jordan.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But okay, so I have a serious question.
Yeah.
Do y'all know? Do you guys know about the glory that is Violence Jack?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Wayne, would you like me to explain to you the best part about Violence Jack? Xavier probably knows what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
There was a woman who was cut in half with a chainsaw, lengthwise.
Okay.
Guess where they started?
Oh.
Yeah, Violence Jack. It's dark, and you're like, okay, Japan. You made your point.
But you could buy this or you could rent this from the kids section at Blockbuster Video.
Piper, according to the story she told earlier, accidentally rented Bible Black.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Piper, you need to have a come to Jesus moment.
When I was younger.
How the fuck? Accidentally. Do I look stupid to you? I know what Bible Black's about. I'm into that weird shit. Ain't nobody accidentally nothing.
They didn't really imply on the video.
Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We thought it was we thought it was a dark, you know, anime.
Yeah. See, they thought it was a dark anime, like probably like witches and shit like that, but not what that was. Yeah.
So it gets some ultra violence going on, and
now I will say there was a lot of time there. I mean, it's true that things would slip by the Blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Especially if it was a freaking cartoon, apparently.
Yeah.
Like,
they probably watched like the first 5 seconds. Well, even if they tried to watch the first 5 minutes of it, the first thing is they're doing a demon ritual with a bunch of naked chicks.
yeah, I don't know why the fuck.
the only thing I can think of is they got like Volume 2 or Volume 3.
The fucking Mike.
Oh my! Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'll read this. Find out Piper accidentally rented Bible Black. She constantly destroys her sex toys. At last I truly see.
That does explain a lot.
Yeah, I can't quite remember. I was in fucking middle school.
Interesting choice of words.
Oh,
not just middle school.
But what was funny about that, Jordan? Her story. The one thing she didn't mention
I was
was
in
like
actual middle school at that point.
She said it was a sleepover, right? So they were watching this movie, and when the shit was going on, they were debating should they keep watching it. So the movie kept playing.
I mean, that I understand because that, like, especially with something like Bible Black, it's so fucked up. You're just like, I can't not finish.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
This shit's fucking
it's
great.
like,
I mean, it's like you're literally watching, and you're like, okay, these chicks are naked. Okay, that woman just grew a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Well, like
Okay.
even like my mom didn't see anything wrong at first either. Like obviously she didn't watch it because she was in bed. We were watching it, but when I went to rent it, it was technically her account.
It was
So
like
she went to rent it, and we were all just like, "Oh no, we like anime, and it's an anime," because we were dumb kids and like didn't really know much. Just knew anime was cool, and we liked it. So
this guy's doing witchcraft for this girl to cast a spell so she can like get the guy that she likes. Oh God, they're doing it in the hall. And it's like 10 seconds later, while his girlfriend watches and cries.
Hey, fast acting spells, man. You gotta, we only got 100. We only got we only got 86 minutes, man. We got to get going.
Yeah, we gotta be, kind of
Can't play around with this shit.
expedite this shit,
That reminds me of something. I remember I was like 15, 16. And, this is about the time, when, you start getting your own money kind of thing, buy your own shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went and bought Ninja Scroll, right? DVD.
Right.
As you do.
yeah.
And, okay, I'd already got to the point where I had seen titties in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my mom comes walking in the room, and I had paused it because we were talking. And she said, "What are you watching?" I said, "Oh, I'm watching Ninja Scroll." And she said, "Can I see it?" I'm like, thinking to myself, I'll say, "Okay." And I think, please don't let me be titties on this next scene. Please don't let me be titties in this next scene. Please don't let titties
Was
be
it
in
the
this
snake
next scene.
snatch?
Was it the?
No, it wasn't. It was the bees.
Oh,
So
you got lucky.
yeah, I know. I was lucky. I got the bees. The bee scene was next. I was literally like, please don't let it be titties. Please don't let it be titties. Because we already had the titty scene, or where the poisonous snake, where it came from, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I have a magic spell for you. Seek Jesus. Yes.
I'm trying to remember the first fucking. I feel so boring now because the first hentai I watched was probably Milk Junkies.
Mm-hmm.
Just big titty Asian chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am but a simple man who likes me some big anime titties.
Right. As you do.
I'm not a fucking degenerate like Piper.
Yeah.
Accidentally getting Bible Black.
Did you do air quotes when you said that? Accidentally.
I did it so bad I could hear my fucking fingers popping.
Like,
Man, I wasn't even old enough to fucking rent it yet. Rent anything from Blockbuster.
my first was Legend of the Overfiend. Ooh.
My first hentai wasn't even a real hentai. It was Mezzo Forte.
Oh God, yeah, it was like a.
Excuse me, Xavier. That is a real hentai. There's fucking in that.
Yeah, as an afterthought. Like it's just an action movie with a lot of crazy shit happening. Oh, and by the way, these two people are gonna have sex real quick.
Yeah. Real quick. It was like
I mean,
5.
There's that rape scene though. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an android though. Doesn't count. Androids aren't people.
Wow.
Wow.
Offensive.
Wow. Wow.
That's wow.
Wow.
How very dare.
Yes, I will discriminate against the artificial Americans. They're not people. They don't deserve the right to vote. And under the Holy Church, we are very much allowed to sell them as property.
Are you laughing at what I'm laughing at in the chat?
Real hentai hours. Remember when this was supposed to be a comic stream?
Like Caleb's like hentai talk. What the fuck did I just?
You are the fuck Xavier.
Well, I think it was the Xavier's first. When we were talking about this, he said that the first accidental hentai he saw in the Blockbuster section was La Blue Girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that movie at the very beginning can throw you off, though, right? Because you think it's about ninjas and shit. No. I mean, it is.
See, that's why I'm trying to figure out if that one was the first one, or if for that I did, or if Bible Black was. But I still know that Bible Black was like an accident.
But the whole thing was like, I was like, yeah, the blue girl was fine. Everything was cool until they started talking about what she did. And the first thing, you see is her doing an Azuna drop. And as she's doing the Azuna drop, both their clothes come off and they start fucking.
Yeah. I think that's within the first minute. But like 45 seconds in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they ain't waste no fucking time.
Nah. I mean, I've always said, you get to the point. Don't play around with that shit. I don't want to watch I don't want to watch, hentai for, watch for 20 minutes and nothing happens and then finally,
Right? Now, gentlemen, I have a very very highbrow question.
Okay.
Any y'all niggas seen Boku no Pico?
No. I've heard enough about it and to know to stay very far away from it.
I watched it. It's not really my taste.
It's very big of you to admit to that. I'm proud of you.
I mean, I've watched more fucked up shit than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No Hogan.
So that's the only way you know where your fucking limits are. You got to dive deep.
Yeah. No Hogan leg drop into the doggy position. Lame.
Oh man.
Okay, I think on that note, 2 hours in.
Yeah, you might have to update the description.
Well, we talked about what we need to talk about. Who cares?
Like, why was the last half hour of this fucking stream just them talking about hentai and shit?
Yeah, well.
Oh, because it happened in the middle too.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I'm running on your coochie, brother.
Oh my god.
All right, that's it. Okay. Had a good time, everybody. Good laughs. So yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a good one. Goodbye.
Later.
Later.